There's more information that has been announced about what the Trump administration wants to do with Gaza. And right now it is not good. It's bad. It's really bad. And one of the calls is to remove Palestinians from Gaza and to send them to Libya. This is displacement. This is also ethnic cleansing. We should be 100% against this. Like, let's get into this a little bit here from Common Dreams. Insanity Observers Blast reported Trump administration plan to move Palestinians to Libya. A plan reportedly under consideration by the Trump administration to send up to 1 million Gazans to the divided country of Libya was met with criticism on Friday and Saturday, with several observers calling it part of the plan to carry out ethnic cleansing. On Friday, NBC News reported that the Trump administration has broached the plan with Libya's leadership, though no final agreement has been reached. NBC News reporting relied on several unnamed sources with knowledge of the effort. Let me just jump in right here for a second and say, I see no way in hell that Libya would agree to something like this, considering what Libya went through at the hands of the United States. It just, I'm gonna say it too. The problem is that Biden and Kamala are no longer in office. This is now Trump's problem. And throughout, he got that temporary ceasefire, etc. We're like, okay, great. What's the next plan? And from recent talks, and you'll see from his recent interview, it pretty much sounds like he's back in Netanyahu's pocket. But you cannot displace people. This cannot happen at all. And Palestinians in Gaza want to stay in their home. This is another example of, I would say, forced migration. Because you look at the Palestinian people, they're not asking to go anywhere else. They're not asking to come to the US. They're not asking to go to Europe. They're not asking to go to they're not asking to move. They want to stay in their home. It is Israel that wants them gone. This is really, really problematic. This is absolutely categorically an ethnic cleansing, and sending people to Libya of all places is unconscionable. That is from investigative journalist James Stout. Another one here, an unnamed spokesperson for the Trump administration told NBC News after publication that these reports are untrue. As part of the plan, the Trump administration may unfreeze billions of dollars of funds originally meant for Libya that the U.S. froze over 10 years ago, the outlet reported. So let's go to this part here. The U.S. Embassy in Tripoli denies report of planned relocation to Palestinians to Libya. So the U.S. Embassy in Tripoli is denying this. Look at Gaza, you guys. Look at this. So the U.S. Embassy is denying it, but it came from somewhere. That didn't just come up out of the, you know what I mean? It just fall out of a cloud. It came from somewhere. So that tells me they were considering it. In my opinion, based on what I see, it seems as though, and you'll see this conversation with Trump here, it seems as though they're trying to drag this out. That's what it seems like to me. And you're also going to see how the U.S. government, the Trump administration, apparently, according to Hamas, didn't meet their part of the deal either. So you'll see here in this conversation with Donald Trump, when he talks about people are starving in Gaza, this is the recent conversation that he had on Fox News. Listen to this.
I think Iran is right now the big problem. That's also a problem. Hamas is big, and we want to take care of the people. Look, people are starving. You know, you see what's going on right now. People are starving. One of the things that one of the three great leaders that I saw 2 nights ago said to me, please help the people, the Palestinians. I said, other than the obvious, what do you mean by that? He said, they're starving.
So let's break this down. What the hell is Trump talking about here, right? What do you mean? You said to the other Arab leader, well, what do you mean other than the obvious? So this is Trump trying to pretend like he didn't realize that people are starving in Gaza. Get the fuck out of here. He knew that. Everybody knows that Israel has been blocking the aid from coming in. No food has entered Gaza in almost 70 days. He knows this. Let's continue.
And he meant it with his heart. They're starving. So I've already started working on that. It's a deep problem, but we'll get it solved. And a very immediate and a very big problem is, I'm so proud of what we were able to do with India and with Pakistan. Well, it's a potential problem like that we have here. I'll get it solved, and one way or the other, I'll get it solved. It's either going to be done nicely or it's going to be done violently. And I 99.9% want to do it nicely if we can.
What's happening between India and Pakistan is not the same thing that's happening in Gaza. Not the same thing that's happening in Gaza. Pay attention to what he says here about the number of people. This is towards the end of this clip, because what did we tell you guys about the number? They keep saying 40,000, 50,000 people that have been killed in Gaza. And we're like, no, that mathematically, that doesn't make sense. Okay. He reveals the number here. And I don't know if everyone noticed it. Well, Dropside News did because they shared this. Trump claims there are 1.9 million people in Gaza, and he'd like to see them relocated, ethnically cleansed. Gaza's population prior to October 7th was estimated 2.2 to 2.3 million, meaning the U.S. Israeli genocidal campaign has already reduced it by about 15%. Everybody see the numbers? Okay, listen to this.
Israel, Hamas, the situation in Gaza is going to come to an end soon?
Gaza's a nasty place. It's been that way for years. I think it should become a free zone. Freedom. I call it a freedom zone. It should become a freedom zone. It doesn't work. Every 10 years they go back. They have Hamas. Everybody's being killed all over the place. I mean, you ever see? You talk about crime stats. It's a nasty place.
Are these people, these countries that you were just visiting, are they going to have to be a part of the solution?
Well, they would be. They would be. I spoke to all three of them. They would absolutely be. I mean, they're really rich and really, really, really even more than rich. They're good people, and they would help. And so money's not even the problem.
You got to get countries to say yes to take them.
Look. These are people that want to be in the Middle East. They really want to be in the Middle East. They love the Middle East. I see that. There's a spirit for the Middle East. They didn't have to go to Sweden, Germany, these different countries. They could have been home in the Middle East if somebody had the brains to build beautiful communities. 1.9 million is a lot of people, but it's not a lot of people, relatively.
So did everybody catch the 1.9 million? So see, and this is like the second or maybe third time he's let that number kind of slip out. So that tells you it's way more than 50,000 people that they've killed, right? But Trump is talking about rebuilding and all that type of stuff. Guys, those of us who have lived in communities that have been rebuilt, we know what that means. That means that the people who are already there usually don't get to stay. We're usually either priced out, pushed out, and so many other ways. But the rebuilding is usually not for the people who are already there. It's for the people who are coming. The other Arab nations, I told you, this is cowardly. It's cowardly. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan is cowardly when the Queen of Jordan is also herself Palestinian. But they're like this, they're buddy with the United States. Very, very sad, very crazy. And then when you see what happened with the exchange of hostage Eden Alexander, there's another one from Jeremy Scahill. Hamas says Witkoff personally promised to lift Gaza blockade in exchange for Eden Alexander. Excuse me. This did not happen, right? So Hamas, they exchanged Eden Alexander, but this part did not happen. And this is something I was worried about before. When that exchange did happen, I was like, okay, but what was promised to them, and is it going to happen? So look at this. The U.S. immediately broke the deal. Senior Hamas official Bassem Naim tells DropSite they threw it in the trash and there has been zero progress on a Gaza ceasefire. Everybody see? So the promise was to end the blockade on Gaza. People are still starving in Gaza. And to show you that this whole I'm mad at Netanyahu, that this is not as real as people may think, look at something else that just happened. Check this out. If you aren't cynical after that, to punish the ICC for its attempt to go after Israel for Gaza, Trump launched a series of sanctions on the court's officials. Karim Khan, the chief prosecutor, had his personal email deleted by Microsoft and his bank accounts in his home country of the UK have been blocked. If you ever wonder why the ICC only ever goes after the global South countries or individuals, you have your answer. Because when they don't, they are quite literally have their personal lives destroyed. See this? Remember this guy? Trump sanctions on ICC prosecutor have halted tribunal's work. Remember him? So they sanctioned him for doing his damn job. And then it goes into the details I just told you about the Microsoft email address and obviously freezing his accounts. Israel is still very much in control. And no, that's not America first. If you have to bow at the knee of Benjamin Netanyahu, no, that is not America first. And here's another wake-up call. This guy made this video here. I want you guys to see this. He's calling it out too. He said, confirm the Trump versus Netanyahu beef was fake. The AIPAC presidency continues. He believes that whole beef thing was fake. Listen.
So it's now confirmed, guys, the entire Trump versus Netanyahu falling out divorce saga, it was all fake. Just like I said in the video I posted here the other day, Trump was doing nothing more than providing cover for Benjamin Netanyahu to look like some kind of victim, to be able to come out and kvetch and to say that Israel has to stand alone against the Hamas and that they now have to go in and start killing hundreds of thousands, millions more Palestinian innocent women and children and anyone else who gets in their way. That's all that this was. It was fake. It was a media stunt. And Trump has made sure that everyone knows it now by going on Fox News with Brett Baer and saying there's nothing negative going on between he and Netanyahu. And Netanyahu has the toughest job in the world. And October 7th was the worst atrocity, the worst day of killing in human history. I mean, the propaganda just continues to get over the top and over the top. It's absolutely ridiculous. Israel has made every excuse possible. The United States has made every excuse possible to dismiss the killing of kids and the killing of innocent civilians. And now it's going to continue. It's going to keep on keeping on, and they are not going to stop. They'll roll through Gaza, they'll roll through the West Bank, and then they'll keep on going. Greater Israel Project, the whole 9 yards. Now look, on top of this, you have Trump, the Trump administration, participating directly in the ethnic cleansing of Gaza right alongside Netanyahu and his evil Jewish Israeli regime. Okay, Trump has now announced that 1 million Palestinians are going to be relocated to Libya, this war-torn, failed state, which, by the way, is a failed state because Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and the creditors, the financiers of Donald Trump and every other politician in Washington, because they made it that way. And that is where they're going to send these people? I mean, it's twisted on its face. And then there's so much more absurdity to it. Like, how about this? He says they're going to move 1 million Palestinians there, where there's over 2 million pre-war. There were over 2 million Palestinians in Gaza. Where the hell did they all go?
Everybody, this is what we've been talking about. Oh, there were over actually 2.2, at least 2.2 million in Gaza before October 7th. So all of the reports that it was 50,000 that was killed or whatever, they were underreporting those numbers on purpose. And honestly, this is one thing I will say. I think if Kamala would have won and Kamala was in that interview, I think Kamala would still say 50,000 people. It's a lot of fucking people that have been killed. But no, it's not a genocide, is what the media has continued to say. And now you definitely cannot hide how they're just starving the people. Just start 70 days. We're not going to let them have food, war crime, but nobody stops them. Nobody stops them. Theo Vaughn talked about this as well.
It's a genocide that's happening while we're alive here in front of our lives. People like putting their kids back together, probably like, you know, one of the sickest things that's ever happened. And I'm sorry if I've kind of haven't said about it. I've tried to talk about it and learn about it. I just wanted to say something. I don't even know what to do. You know, and it's crazy because our country's also complicit in it. You know, it's in it and has been for a long time. And it's just kind of interesting because then you just realize, oh, well, I'm a member of this country, but I'm just, what we want sometimes doesn't matter. Yeah. So just praying for those people and just the grief that is all going to cause. You notice, like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Theo Vaughn's podcast isn't even what you would call a political podcast, but he has talked about, you know, the Gaza situation. I remember Theo from Road Rules, like back in the day, MTV's Road Rules. I don't even know if that show still exists anymore. But this has to be the wake up call for people, guys. Like, Trump is sitting there allowing these kids to starve. Like, this is not I really feel like what he's trying to do is he's trying to drag this out. Because the longer you drag it out, right, some are going to die from starvation. Some are going to die from bombs because Israel's still bombing the hell like out of Gaza, but some of them would die from starvation. So I feel like that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to drag this out. It's really sad. It's really pathetic. Like, I just don't understand how anybody can pretend like this is not happening. I really don't. And what does that say about us as a country? Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.